That's right. Back at it again.
Show for Chicago sports.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Got a lot to get into on today's episode. As we have some interesting lineup changes here. Got to talk with Ben Johnson today. Gonna have to take a real look and see. Are we gonna see some changes to this offensive line? Also, gotta take a look at some of the pieces here who are, let's just say, coming back, but will they have an impact? A lot of Austin Booker fans out there. As much as I love them, I don't know if the DC's one of them. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, the Chicago Bulls are back. And we're going to have to talk about these Chicago Bulls. That's right. You're going to have to sit through Bulls talk, but you sat through baseball talk this morning. They can't hear you, Jordan JC, because you showed up late. Let's go. Now I got to add these bastages into the stream here real quick. Give me a second, ladies and gentlemen. Jordan JC always showing up just in time to not be on time. I didn't give you a last second invite. I literally told you we were going live right at 5 when I sent the first message. No, here we go. Here we go. Let's get him in here. Jordan JC is in the building. Hold on. We got to get P Kid in the building. Y'all better be sitting in the same spot. I know that much. Hold on. Give me a second. Y'all go throw it. Breeze Nation, what's good? It's your boy, Pat the Designer. Back at it again. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. As always, y'all know black folks be late. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do, boys. Welcome to the show. What's going on? Kid, you all right? Kid, you okay, kid? What are you doing there, kid? I don't know if we can say that anymore, but hey, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. As always, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Let's start it off here, boys. Know you're a little late. It's all good. We're going to get up in here. Kid, listen to Luther Vandross. That was a weird statement right there. I got nothing. Got an opportunity to talk with Ben Johnson today about the offensive line. I thought this was going to be very big a conversation for this team right now because, I mean, if we're being honest, the offensive line has struggled at times heavily, especially from the tackle position. And so the big question right now is the tackles. We saw Braxton Jones get pulled out from that last game and the Bears go Theo Benedict in that spot at left tackle. We saw Ozzie Trapillo get that opportunity to get into the game and be able to kind of show what he's able to do. And we asked Ben Johnson today. I thought Courtney did a great job, talking about the right side of the line, which I think is the more important of the two. Let's be real. What Ben Johnson said on the left side, he was like, someone will play left tackle. All right, that tells me all I need to know. On the right side of this offensive line, is there a situation that we could be in where your top 10 pick, who had a chance to go up against Max Crosby, I'm sorry, now your second round pick, I should say, had a chance to go up against Max Crosby, will also, it seems like based on kind of how practice went today, will also have an opportunity to go up against the Commanders and get that starting spot as of now. Don't know what the injury designation on anyone specifically will be as of yet, but it does feel very much like this is going to be another week out for Darnell Wright. Could you be in a situation where your second round pick possibly could be taking the job of your first overall or first round top 10 right tackle in Darnell Wright? And when I asked him about Ozzie, I said, is there an opportunity that Ozzie could win this job? He said, of course. And with most coaches, I know everybody says, right, you can compete at every position, every job we want to be competitive at. Ben Johnson's kind of already showed you, hey, if you're not living up to the standard, we will replace you. And I think that Braxton Jones situation in the second half of that that Raiders game, I think that tells you, listen, that's a Ryan Poles guy that has survived everything. And Ben Johnson was like, we're going to need you to go sit down.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Father, can you hear me?
I don't think the check it.
What?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What made
Y'all
you
never
go
heard
back?
of that? Yep. Jesus, watch movies for crying out loud.
I mean, no,
Never
I
mind.
don't.
Jesus.
I don't know what that's
never
from.
mind. Never
I
mind.
don't know.
Never
I don't
mind.
know what that one is.
Never mind. Never mind.
Now you got to explain. You just bust out with
Father, can you hear me?
I'm kind of curious now.
It's a Disney movie. I'm actually forgetting the title of it.
My
Whatever.
G, were you trying to sing "Do You Want to Build a Snowman" right
That's
there?
exactly what it sounds like.
No, I don't think. Whatever. Anyway, back to your question at hand. Now, Ozzie Trapillo, okay, yes, I think that if he starts, what do you say, they're trying him out on the left side as well for this week?
Well, no, he's going to be playing the right side. It seems like Theo Benedict is going to be your left tackle.
Then I like that they're going that route because obviously Darnell still needs some time to recover. But even if he was fully healthy, I think there's a good conversation that needs to be had about competition at that right side because Darnell has been very inconsistent for quite some time now. Has been penalized a lot. And your first start up against really good competition, meaning Ozzie Trapillo versus Max Crosby, you held your own. We talked about it before. I think it was 40 snaps or 40 reps, and it was only a couple of quarterback pressures. You know, I know a few times he got taken advantage of. Caleb had to kind of move out the way of Max. But still, all in all, you did what you needed to do, and you showed up and showed out in your first chance as a rookie. And so
I don't know about showed out.
You
held your own against Max. You had moments where you held your own against Max.
Top 4 edge rusher that just plays like his hair is on fire.
Is that showing out? That might be showing out. Maybe that's showing out. That might
me,
be showing out.
Yeah, you're rookie. You're like that's what we got you in the second round for. So me, like you build off that. I don't think you have as much of a challenge with the Commanders. I'm not really remembering who the edge rushers are on the Commanders at this moment. But I don't think there's anybody of the ilk of Max Crosby. And so you build off of that and get your confidence up. You build off of that and continue to just persuade this coaching staff to say, hey, we need to make a tough decision here. Do we keep going with Ozzie? Like he's cooking right now. Do we just take him out just because we have a top 10 pick in Darnell Wright that we have to use somewhere? Well, put him somewhere else then. Try him somewhere else.
You've got Javante Jean-Baptiste, of course, over there.
Jean-Baptiste,
and Dorrance Armstrong. And listen, Von Miller's there too. So, you know what I mean? Every now and then you're going to have to deal with a little Von.
Ghost of Von Miller, I guess. But okay, fine.
Every once in a while, Von show up.
Yeah, he will. I mean, you do have the veteran, every now and then that does his thing. But that's my thing is Ozzie Trapillo, I think he needs to continue to solidify his starting position, his starting role. You got to use these second rounders. For a while, we were talking about how many games are you not going to utilize your second rounders, whether it was Colston getting the ball, whether it was Shamar Turner even being played, or Ozzie even getting the starting position. So now that he has a chance to start, see what he does and continue on that road.
Who would you rather see out there, kid?
To be honest with you, I think Ozzie. Mainly because you drafted him, and I'm really big on this. We are talking about somebody who survived a different regime. I don't see a future where that's going to be a long-term option for the Chicago Bears. The statement you made about I can address this real quick. Is that better?
Oh, there he is. There he is.
Cool. There we go. My bad. I saw that coming, threw me off. what you saw against what you saw, Ozzy do against Mad Max, and then what you kind of see that we need moving forward. We have a coaching staff that's very willing to make adjustments on the fly as needed. And I'll be honest with you, I don't see this regime being, enamored with mid. And you've said this plenty of times. We don't say his name enough to make for it to be a big issue, but we're not really exactly happy with it all the time. And so, with that being the case, with it
Talking
being
about
so up and
Darnell.
down, yeah, with it being so up and down at times, I don't think that's going to survive. Now, if it does, it does. Don't get me wrong. I mean, if he does, he does. But I think they're going to give the kid a look. And I think with his stature and things of that nature, you're going to see, especially before that stretch of that gauntlet of games I always reference, we're going to definitely see them get that correct. And in my personal opinion, although they don't have the same front seven as some of the teams that we'll face later this season, the Commanders do have a solid front seven.
No, listen, I think the thing for me with Ozzy coming in is, who are you willing to deal with the mistakes from? That's truly what it comes down to. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and tell you Darnell Wright is getting pushed out of the way every play. He's not. To me, there's too many moments in a game where you do see him get moved that it changes how a play is going. But it's not like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's Braxton Jones. He's not. He's not getting pushed back into Caleb's lap every play. He's not getting thrown around like a rag doll every single play. Darnell Wright has talent. The big thing for me, and I think the big thing possibly for Ben Johnson, is the mistakes. There's too many times where there's a holding call, or there's a false start, or there is a illegal man downfield, or whatever it is, where 58's taking you backwards. That is the part that I think Ben Johnson isn't willing to deal with. And why? Listen, I'm not saying that this is the replacement of Darnell Wright, but could it put some pressure on him if Ozzy goes out there and balls out? 110%. Because now I have a player that I know, hey, versus Max Crosby, he looked pretty good. We'll see what he looks like versus the Commanders. But if he balls out, it's going to be difficult for you to just say, yeah, take him out of the lineup. Because you haven't seen somebody ball out from that position yet this season. That's what, to me, is going to be the biggest thing for the decision that Ben Johnson makes. Because, listen, you can't call an offense behind the eight ball.
You can't call offense.
You can't call an offense. You can't live in a world calling an offense in 1st and 20. Ron, what a bar, right? He said Braxton blocks air like must.
That's crazy.
No, that's actually pretty funny. I'll give you that one.
I'm in agreement. I think it's the consistency that you want to continue to see. And Ben Johnson said as much in his presser today, is that, we can't really get to the place that we want to get to in this offense. You can't see a high octane offense if you're continuously working behind the eight ball. And so how do you do that? Like I said before, the quarterback and the offensive line, they work in lockstep. If we want to see a really good Caleb and him completing passes down the field, but then it getting called back because Darnell Wright held somebody, or Darnell Wright didn't do his job, or he had a false start, that kind of takes the air out of your sails. It takes the air out of what Ben Johnson is going to call in the next play, that sets up the next play and the next play, because now you're at 1st and 15 or 2nd and 20. And so, yes, that's why we're saying, okay, is there a healthy competition brewing at right tackle? Do we just go with this guy who seemingly isn't making any mistakes, didn't make any mistakes in his first ever start, and now possibly going up against a lesser talent on the Washington line? What does he show then? And now, do you have to have a conversation of, is Darnell Wright going to come back as a backup? Or again, do you move him to maybe having competition at left tackle? Do you put him out of position? So
I think his draft position is going to necessitate he be on the field. And then, considering how close, I mean, we're talking 2023. It's not like he's been there. Like we're not. Darnell Wright is not like a 6-year vet out here, right? It's not one of those situations.
But you've been there too long to still be making the mistakes you're making.
3 years.
True, he has been. I will say, different offense. I mean, there's some learning curve there that you got to give on both sides. I'm not making excuses for him, but it's like the reality of it is they have a lot invested into him already. and it's not necessarily a contract year or anything like that. I think this is one of those things where you see more of development or coaching happen as opposed to just a flat out replacement. It's not like we're talking about Braxton Jones out here.
But I mean, I think you also have to take into account though the change of coach. Right, you have to take that into account. Yes, the politics of it, the draft pick of it. I'm not saying they're benching Darnell Wright. I'm just speaking on the fact that Ben Johnson says that Ozzie Trapillo has a chance to win this job, and versus Max Crosby, based on everything that we saw, he looked okay. I'm not saying he looked like a stud out there. I'm not saying he balled out. I'm saying that he looked okay. Versus Max Crosby makes the best tackles in football look silly. You know what I mean? Like the best of the best look silly at times. And so, I think the fact that Ozzie looked okay in his first ever start, his first day being active, you see him do that. You kind of go, okay, maybe you have something there. If he goes out and he cooks versus the Washington Commanders, now you got to do that. You have to go out there and play well. But if he goes out there and he balls out versus the Washington Commanders, it's going to be tough for you to look at the situation just because of where Darnell is drafted and go, well, yeah, we got to put him back in there, because you're seeing something work on that right side. And again, I emphasize this. I don't think it's the matter of how great Ozzie is or isn't at blocking early on, because he's a rookie. There's technique things you're going to have to teach him. There's things he's going to have to figure out. There's hand placement he's going to have to figure out. There's speed of the game he's going to have to figure out. There just is. But if he can get through the huddle, snapped on time, not hold, not false start, not be an illegal man downfield, I think that you might see Ben Johnson lean that direction as you get further into the season, or, if you will, see the pressure that's on Darnell Wright, put Darnell back out there, see how he responds to that pressure. And if it doesn't work, you go, we got to go with the kid. We got to put the kid in. And I would say this, probably before the trade deadline. I told y'all coming into this season, your favorite Bear's favorite Bear probably ain't going to be on this team by the time you get through 2-3 years of this. And that goes for Ryan Poles as well. Y'all know Ryan Poles loves his guys. Don't wipe the face right there, JC. We're not making fun of him crying.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That was wild. That was nuts. He tried to do the subtle. Get out of here. These people, man, you could be attached to them. But no, I think to me, like the big thing moving forward is going to be Ozzie, give yourself the best opportunity to put that pressure on Darnell. And then Darnell is in your court. I don't think Ben Johnson is saying bench Darnell Wright right now. I think he's saying I'd love to have Darnell Wright back. But if I see somebody that can play better and I can put him out there, knowing I got that guy is going to make the pressure even higher on Darnell.
You know what makes it easier too is that you don't have allegiances to a lot of some of these picks. I mean, Ben Johnson is literally working with a clean slate outside of this past draft with these guys. And so again, you're talking about Ryan Poles and the attachment to certain players and sometimes being a little bit too attached to certain ones. Ben Johnson is not going to have that problem when you're talking about trying to really upgrade this roster and getting it to a certain caliber or standard that's going to be what we want to see as representing this town. And so when it comes to maybe swapping in out a first round pick for a second round pick at tackle position, whatever you have to do to make the best version of this team, it will be done. There's no ands, ifs, or maybes. There's no, let's wait a year or let's wait till the bye week. Just like we saw when what was the game? Was it the Vegas game where he swapped out the Eagle Man for Braxton Jones?
Yeah, that was 2 weeks ago.
Of the game, in the second quarter, I believe, he was like, all right, you're done. Let's take some bench. Let's look at it from this perspective. We need to see somebody else come out there because Max Crosby is killing us. He didn't wait until the bye week to adjust it or to talk about it or go over film with Braxton and say, hey, this is what we're going to do moving forward. He did it in the middle of the game, not even at halftime. He did it in the middle of the actual game. And so that's what I love to see is you're actually backing up your words with actions of we want to make this team better, and I mean it.
No, 100%. 100%. We'll see what ends up happening here. I think the left side of the line is like Braxton's done, right? That was
a backup.
That was it. Like
He's where he should be.
That's what's going to be tough about all of this, though. Who do you keep active? Let's say everyone's healthy. You don't have another left tackle.
Mm-mm.
Is Braxton, is Theo? Theo's starting now. Are you sitting Darnell Wright if Ozzie wins this job?
No.
After what you saw from Ozzie, how do you make Ozzie inactive?
I don't know how, bro. I do not know.
Like, I think
It's a
there's
good problem to have.
Would you say that Ozzie did better
I don't know
than
if
Theo?
I don't know if it's a good problem to have yet, because like I think we kind of all agree, like, hey, one of these guys sucks. In Braxton Jones, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I would say it's a great problem to have. It's like, well, he sucks, so clearly we're gonna replace him. He's better, but I don't know if he's great. Darnell keep getting penalties, and Ozzie's a rookie. I don't know if it's a good problem to have yet. I know that's how Ben Johnson framed it today.
Yeah.
But you kind of got a lot of guys where it's like, well, we answered Braxton. That's a question to Theo Benedict. Darnell, can he not get penalized? And Ozzie, we truly don't know what he is as of yet.
If I'm gonna be honest with you, I think we all can probably agree, Chad included, Braxton Jones is a person that's not going to be active. And the reason I say that is because Ozzie, well, hear me out. So Ozzie had played both left and right tackle in college. So because
Ozzie played right.
He played left.
He played left. His first year there was god awful at it.
And then
they were like,
he split his starts between the two.
No, his freshman year there, they were like, "Oh, you're a left tackle," and then they were like, "Oh, you are not a left tackle, sir."
I think you're
you
just
come over
saying
here to
that
this
he
right
had
side.
the reps.
Then he played on the right side.
He had reps at both, and he's
I'm got reps at both. Yes, he's got reps at both. And he also had reps at both
between the two.
He also had reps at both in training camp.
But I thought he split his starts between two. Either way, because of his size and stature, you see what he looks like. I think you would move him to the left, and then Theo would back him up, because I mean, you're not going to have Darnell Wright on the bench. You're just not going to do that. It's something egregious would have to happen for him to be completely out of it, and for you to start the rookie over him. I mean, that's the politics of football we don't like to admit, but that's the politics of football that's going to happen.
I don't think Ben Johnson cares about the politics.
I was going to say, I wonder if the politics of football are playing out differently, and we'll see in this game. If Kyle Monangai starts to get more snaps, which we're seeing happen week after week here, eventually DeAndre Swift is odd man out. DeAndre Swift makes $8 million. That's the politics of football. You get a football to the $8 million guy. But we're seeing Kyle Monangai get more and more carries every week. Now, none of them getting a ton of carries, and nobody's doing anything great with them, which is the biggest problem. But, like, that's what happened when you had Jamal Williams, almost said Jameson, was Jamal Williams in Detroit with Ben, and you had DeAndre Swift, who was a high draft pick. Like, Ben Johnson don't really operate very well in the politics of football. Ben Johnson operates in, can you get this job done? And I think that because some of these guys, the Braxton Jones, the Darnell Wrights, right? Like, you're just not a Ben guy. I could easily see the odd man out being Darnell Wright. Especially, and again, this is not us just saying, oh, we hating on Darnell. I want Darnell to be good. He's a top 10 pick. He needs to be good. Like, it looks so bad if he's not good. But Dan Rashar is the one that told you when he's focused and when he's on time and when he's about his business, he's dominant. And when he's not, he doesn't show those same things. What do you mean when he's not focused? He's all you need to focus on is football right now. Mm-hmm. Are you telling me you got a right tackle that's a top 10 pick that's not focused? Like, when he said the focus and energy isn't always there, I looked at Tom Waddle. I said, I've never been a professional football player. How bad is that? And he said, as a player, there's only two things that you can control. Your focus and your energy. Outside of that, everything else is out of your control.
So he's not controlling the controllables. You're
not controlling your controllables. And I think when the penalties play in, when we see he said the same thing about Braxton, and you saw Braxton get pulled off the field. When the penalties play in, and when you start to see the holding calls or whatever it is, the technique is going. That's the focus. or that's you getting beat too fast and you're not putting in the right energy. If you can't have that 3 years in, then yeah, I'm willing to go with the kid. I'd be more willing to go with the kid. But I would rather Darnell Wright work out because he's a top 10 freaking right tackle.
Well, if that's the case, then you're gonna have a competition with the Twins because Jonah might I keep calling them that, but the maybe there's a conversation where you were a right tackle and now you can move into guard and play next to Ozzie Trapillo if Jonah which is having the same problems as Darnell, who's the lesser of the two evils at that point. Like, could you have a competition there? I don't know, but
Possibly.
I'm not taking Ozzie
The
out.
great thing is Ben is going to do exactly what he needs to do to get Caleb time so he can execute those plays, because without that O-line giving that the protection, these nice drawn out plays, that flea flicker doesn't happen if you don't have enough time to get that play off. That thing is completely blown up. So
you ain't lying, because he threw that ball up to heaven real quick.
Caleb,
that thing took 30 seconds. Jeez.
He had to catch it, bring it down, reload. That took time. You're not doing those exotic plays like that without a decent line. So whatever has to happen, like you said, our favorite Bear may not be our favorite, might be on this team. Oh well, I want to see us put points on the board.
No, 100%. We'll see what ends up happening. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. We are give it a sec. Oh, 100. The smaller boxes are better. I'm not gonna lie, because we see less of the salsa.
Hey,
that's not even a salsa. That's a marinade. I don't know what that is.
You go see some salsa.
That was terrifying.
Don't try to limit me.
First he started talking about dads, and now we're doing some weird salsa. All right, here we go.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not comfortable.
I still think he said, "Do you want to build a snowman?" I don't care what you say.
He definitely was singing, "Do you want to build a snowman?" That man said, "Father, do you see me?" Like, what?
I saw somebody in the chat say that was from Annie. I'm like, JC ain't watching no Annie.
Oh, I ain't gonna lie. I've watched Annie millions of times when I was younger. I ain't even go front. I've watched Annie.
Which one is Annie? Oh, Annie is It's a Hard Knock Life for Us.
Yeah, that's the only song I know from that. I only watched that movie once.
I gotta look it up. I gotta see where the heck did I get that from, because I know I got it from somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Let's talk about some of the injury updates. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Bears do get a couple of guys back that I think is going to be very beneficial to this team moving forward. Ben Johnson said that the window is opening for defensive end Austin Booker and Travis Homer, so they will have 21 days once cleared to return to practice. They were there. They were at practice today. I literally looked out and I was like, oh, look, 94. He's out here. Going to be very interesting to see what they bring back to this team. T. Homer, of course. As weird as it sound, T. Homer might be running back one when he get back, dog. I don't know what's going on. What's going on there? Austin Booker being an impact will be interesting to see. I thought the other thing today, we did get confirmation from the man, the myth, the legend himself, Kyler Gordon, that he will be out there Monday night. So good to hear that. Those are kind of the big ones. Some to keep an eye on here. No Jaquan Brisker at practice today. Don't know if it was a personal day or what. He was there. We saw him in the locker room, but he did not practice today, or at least he did not stretch with the team. That's kind of how we gauge whether somebody practiced or not. We'll get the injury report, I believe, Thursday on who practiced and who didn't because of the Monday night game. And then Grady Jarrett still not out there yet. And him not being out there after the bye week, now it's a little concerning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You didn't play last week. Kind of were pulled from the game before that. And then now you had a week off and coming back from the bye week, you're not out there. Now, maybe he is to the point where he's one of those vets where he's like, y'all know I don't need to practice. I can wreck this by just going out there and playing. I need as much rest as I can get. But you got some up, you got some down, and some guys definitely to keep an eye on. I think the big one, though, of course, Kyler Gordon, adding him back into this DB unit. How big do you guys think that's going to be for this team?
Very big, especially since we got to try to get some takeaways. I don't know if everybody feels the same way, but the game against the Commanders to me is bigger than is probably the biggest game of the year from a narratives perspective and things of that nature. Like I put it just on par with any Packers game or any division game that we have. From now, I know playoff implications and stuff like that.
Crazy.
I get it, right? I'm not trying to sit there and say they equal, but from the feel and everything from it there, all the different narratives. You got Montez Sweat narratives, you got the QB narratives, you got the OC narratives. It's just too many things overlapping right there. And so, yeah, as it's great to have them back so we can put more pressure on the Commanders and force some turnovers and things of that nature. I'm really excited to see what they bring.
Yeah, it's a lot of wonderful storylines. You mentioned the QB one, obviously. We know Caleb and the Rookie of the Year winner, Jaden. That's going to be one we want to talk about, especially with him coming back from injury. But I do love the Kyler Gordon return because to me, and we talked about it this morning about Tariq Stevenson kind of, trying to mature and get past the whole Fail Mary issue and, kind of expelling his demons in a sense. He, I think with that return of Kyler will be in a more comfortable situation. And so this secondary could look really good. It could look really, really comfortable if Tariq continues on the path that I hope and that he looks to be on now, where he's more focused and he's more detailed and he's doing what he's doing. He's flying around, he's getting interceptions, he's impacting the game, he's setting the tone like he did in Dallas. And so that's what I look for now. Kyler to set the tone as well. I've always liked Kyler Gordon's game. I feel like he's a very dynamic slot quarterback where he can defend some of the better slot receivers, but also get his hands dirty and get inside on those blitz packages as well. And so you look forward to seeing how they use him. Hopefully Jaquan, like you said, is just one of those things where he's not necessarily going to be hurt, but it's good that we have a Monday game because now you get an extra day of rest.
Get an extra day of rest. Two guys. I don't know how I left these guys off. Tight end Colston Loveland did not play or practice today either. And TJ Edwards did. So
Nice.
TJ Edwards,
All
and again,
right.
we're not out there for the whole thing. We only get to see individuals. We only get to see the stretching and a couple of individual drills and offensive line. Who said hood? Here we go. All right, now get out. I guess that's really all we get to see. But TJ was out there and was somebody to pay attention to as well. So it feels like you're starting to get the defense back at the right time. And I think, kid, you said something there that I thought, you had an opportunity here. Like the Tyreek Stevenson of it, I know we're going to talk about that ad nauseum this week. And we're going to be ready to end it all by the time we get to the end of the week. By the way, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. 200 in the chat. 200 on the video, 50 likes on that mug, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Hit that hype button. If you got the hype button, got access to that. I don't know if they rolling that out to everybody or what yet. You have a real opportunity here to continue to build on the confidence that you had coming out of the bye. What I mean by that is, or going into the bye, I should say. What I mean by that is that Raiders game was everything that we have seen the Bears go through over the last 3 years. And what do they normally do? They lose that game. They don't find a way to go down and score the points at the end of the game, and you leave too much time on the clock when you do find a way to go down and score the points, and you do give up the field goal to win the game at the end, and you are trying to drive down with 2 timeouts and trying to put points on the board. You found a way to win this one. You found an opportunity to go out there and win that game, answering one of your questions. This Washington game to me with Tyreek, do you have an opportunity to expel that demon? Do you have an opportunity to see him go out there and just ball out and play as well as we've seen him play over the last couple of weeks? Do you have an opportunity to go out there and see this defense that kind of contained Jaden Daniels last season? His big numbers come from the Hail Mary at the end of the game that Matt Eberflus allows. And Tyreek Stevenson goes out there and he tips the ball and he plays his part in it as well. But I think there were so many coaching failures in that game. Can you expel that demon? Because if you can, remember how much of a turning point that was for the season last year. And we talked about this a little bit this morning, JC. Like, if you find a way to win this Commanders game, you then have Saints, you have Ravens, no Lamar Jackson. You have, and maybe he's back by then, but it sounds
He's
like with this pulled
questionable for this
hammy,
week, though.
He is
He-
questionable for this
he
week.
might not be. But yeah, we'll see. Listen, shoot the leg, foul.
Yeah.
But they can't stop it. They can't stop a nosebleed right now.
You know what I mean? Like, and
Yeah,
that
that
defense
defense
is
is
getting
weak.
killed right now. You know what I
That
mean? And
defense
there's
is
a lot of
done.
guys banged up there. You got the Bengals who just traded for Joe Flacco. Like, is that
yeah,
the
I'm
answer?
scared. I'm scared now.
They
I ain't
can't
gonna lie
stop
to you.
no
I ain't gonna lie
dude
to you. It did scare me a little bit.
Flacco
It did scare me a little bit.
Flacco
Only
always.
reason because I know Joe's good enough to be like, said Hut, Jamar.
Yep.
I don't know where he's at, but he down there.
Hey, he can
Yep.
pick us apart if they give him just enough time. He can pick us apart. But I say
For fantasy purposes.
You got for fantasy as a fantasy owner.
I got T. Higgins.
Well, I might be picking up Joe Flacco.
Oh God, I might be
We'll see
picking
what
up
life
Joe
takes
Flacco.
us. You got the Giants after that. Who listen? The Jackson Dart magic wore off.
Quick.
It wore off. It was a week. Good job. I mean, you lost You lost to that Saints defense. Ew. They are terrible.
Yeah.
Who you also get a chance to play. Then, of course, you get your chance of redemption versus the Vikings. Get the Steelers. You get and the Vikings seem to be going the wrong direction as well here. But like, you still got some good teams on the schedule, but you got an opportunity. I mean, if we're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if you manage to pick up 3 of your next 5, and you're sitting 7 and 4, like now you've got a real opportunity to make a run at the playoff. And I think runs are started based off of belief. And that game that the Bears gave the Commanders gave them the belief last year. And I think they took that belief and what they were doing and what they were putting out there, and it took them all the way to the NFC title game. That doesn't mean you don't have to go out there and make plays. But now I believe what the coach is doing wins us games. Now I know if we listen to this, if we do this, I got this guy that I trust. Belief brings on trust. Trust is what teams need to win. Everybody's got talent in the NFL. It's about, do you trust the talent that you have out there? I think that could be taking you one way or the other yet again. Doesn't mean the Bears fall off a cliff after that Commanders game, but I do think that, dang, did the Cardinals coach get fired already? Did that just happen? I just see somebody tweet that out. I do think that this could be a real opportunity for the Bears to go out there and start a run of their own if you could. That'd be hilarious if he did. Dang, I see Shefty.
I
see Shefty as my Cardinals
Is
are
that breaking
firing
news?
Jonathan Gannon.
Oh boy.
Fining.
Okay.
Somebody didn't read correctly there. Who was
Fined
that?
100,000 for a sideline altercation.
Yeah, he pushed the mess out of old boy. That was crazy. You can't push
Out of a
him.
teammate?
He pushed DeMarcado after he fumbled the football. You can't do that. You can't put your
I
hands
don't
on
see
him.
that as $100,000 push. Jesus Christ.
Hey, that's
Shoot,
how much,
Jerry
that's how ripped
just
they
got a $200,000 middle finger.
Yeah.
Well, Jerry's an owner. You can't have ownership flipping off people.
Hey, bro,
You can't have anybody.
How much was that fine for the Panthers owner throwing water on?
It was more than
the fans?
200,000.
Yeah.
I don't think it was.
I think it was.
I gotta look that
That's
up.
assault.
Anyway, y'all thoughts on oh, you might be right. Maybe I do remember that being bigger. Y'all thoughts on what this Commanders game could mean for this team?
I mean, it just like it kind of killed our season last year. I think that in the other direction, it can catapult this team into the confidence level that we need going into December. I said it before, and I said it this morning. Ben Johnson has said we're getting into our best football. We are getting into our best
300K.
football
300K.
for 300K for that.
It was $300K for throwing water on fans.
It's
Yeah,
$50,000.
that's
No, he's being a
That's crazy.
douchebag.
more.
Like you supposed to get $300K for that. Jay gave him the middle finger. That's $50K less.
It's like 7 years of work for some people. Jesus. The money just thrown around is nuts. But anyway, my point is like the Commanders game is again, it could expel a lot of demons. It could get fans past the Hail Mary. It could get Tariq past the Hail Mary. This is a new regime, new coaching staff. So as Ben Johnson said, he has no ties to what happened last year. But you know, we're coming out there to play and win the game and obviously move forward. And so I agree with P Kid to the point of in the moment, yes, this is a very important game, might be one of the most important because you just got to get that over that mental hurdle in a sense.
Yeah.
You know,
I
and
give
so
you a different one.
do we see that? Go ahead.
I give you a different aspect, and I'm happy Ben Johnson has the fortitude to say, "Hey, I'm not tied to anything that's happened before." The Bears coming off a bye week statistically haven't been great.
What do we say?
In fact,
Yep, Pat.
most of the head coaches, out of the 4 head coaches we've had before after Lovey, I think only one of them was 50%, and that was just 1-1. Maybe it was Trestman.
We've only won one bye week game in the last 14 years.
I think that's part of it. Yeah.
That one coach was 500.
Oh yeah, because he got fired. It was Trestman. Yeah.
It was Trestman. But Lovely was 6-3 after bye. So there's a whole history of the Bears just not performing well outside of a bye period. You add that layer on from a coaching perspective. Now this is like how you want to talk about a regime change, a culture change for Ben Johnson win this game.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is you really changing things organizationally top down, because now the players have to show up, you have the right to get things of that nature, but coaching wise, it ain't really happened lately. So now you get to start off on the right track, and I that just adds another layer of complexity to it for me.
I just thought about this too, adding on to your point. That's a very good point. There could be a lot of things, a lot of hurdles that this organization could really get over. Just past week, we talked about the fact that when the Bears are in close games, what do they usually do? We usually see them lose in magical ways, in crazy ways, however kind of way. The Bears seem to always lose those games. Kevin Byard said as much in the celebration huddle in the locker room. He was like, that's our calling card. Teams know that you just got to keep it close to the end with the Bears because they're going to do something to lose. We got over that hurdle. We won the game. We blocked the field goal. And we got out of Las Vegas where we should have blown them out, but we still won the game 25-24. So now this week, you're going up against someone where off of a bye week, we've only won once. And you said how many years now? 14 since 2014. So that's 11 years.
In the last, what was it? It's in the last 14 years.
Yeah, I thought I saw 2014 is the last one. Right. When you sent that stat to me. So for me, that's another hurdle that you're going over.
No, the Bears historically have struggled at the bye, winning just once since 2014. The Lions, meanwhile, put up 40 points on their opponent each of the last 2 years coming out of their bye. Hopefully, Ben Johnson can emulate that success and have this team prepared. Very different teams, though. That was from Brendan Segru. Shout out to him. Very different teams, though. Like I don't expect 40. I don't know if I expect a win just yet. And I do think that this team can go in there and win. And I actually think they will go in there and win. But like coming out of the bye, like to expect 40, to expect this big scoring output. Ben Johnson was very honest today. He was like, we're shooting ourselves in the foot. We're making a lot of our own mistakes. Like it's not teams going out there and destroying us. We're hurting ourselves. And I think that, like, if you can't do that against teams like the Commander. Like, if people thought, the Commander, it's over, Jaden's falling off. No, he hasn't. The Commanders are still a pretty good football team. And, yeah, there's been some ugly moments, but, I mean, like, they destroyed the Raiders. I think the only team they've lost to this season, Green Bay? No, they lost to the Falcons, too. They lost to the Falcons, too.
Yeah, they're 3-2 this season. So,
I mean, you beat the Raiders. They lost to the Falcons. They destroyed the Chargers. Lost to the Packers, and of course, you destroyed the Giants. Everybody and their mama destroying the Giants right now. It's getting ugly out here.
I do want to give some flip side to this though, because listen, someone has to win, someone has to lose. There's an opportunity for us. There's always opportunity that we come out on the losing end. How we perform, though, is going to be what we get criticized on.
Yes.
And ultimately, again, how we bounce back from the loss. You mentioned one bye week win since 2014. Mind you, we went 12-4 one of those seasons there. Matt Nagy.
We lost out of the bye.
Yeah, Matt Nagy actually was like 0-3 out of the bye week.
Yeah,
but he had some pretty good records. He had a winning record in Chicago. So it's not the end of the world. Right. I just want to say that now, because the closer we get to that moment, then in the moment, the sky's going to be falling for a lot of people. Chill out. This is
I think here's the thing, though. You beat the Commanders and it's a stamp of, you beat a good team. So far, the good teams you've played, and I don't even know if we say, right, that the Cowboys are a good team. But the Cowboys went out there and have continued to be one of the highest scoring teams in football. They only have two games this
number one offense,
season.
right?
They only have 2 games this season with less than 35 points scored.
That's insane.
2
Hey,
of
Schottenheimer
those
over there
games
making it
are
happen.
40-point games. One versus the Bears, one versus the Cowboys week 1. Or I'm sorry, versus the Eagles week 1. So like I think that it's that I don't know if I would say Dallas is a good team. I think Dallas could put up a lot of points and outscore teams.
Good offense. Yeah.
This would be your stamp of like your mindset change. You should beat the Saints. You should beat the Ravens if Lamar Jackson is not playing. You should beat the Bengals. You should beat the Giants. You know what? How the Vikings are playing, you should beat the Vikings. Like, to me, that's what this is. This is the believe game. And while the players should always believe, seeing you be able to, into back-to-back weeks, exercise those demons, I feel like that could actually start one of those Jordan JC runs that he believes the Bears are going to go on here.
You're on 15 straight, baby.
I don't necessarily have
15 straight is
pushback
crazy.
to that. I think honestly, my only, aside from that would be, it's a great test no matter what happens, but depending on how you perform, the teams that we play, like I think Green Bay is better than Commanders this year. I think they definitely will or have the potential to be. I think we got to play the Eagles. Clearly, the Eagles are the champs, right? I do not expect. I mean, the Baltimore Ravens, although we did talk about I just said they can't stop a nosebleed. They're still favored to win their division.
Well, that's because there's nobody else in the division.
Nobody else in the
that can
division.
fight. Like, that's a whole different situation.
But like they could absolutely bounce back in ways like it's still next man up, no matter how many injuries they have. I mean, look at San Francisco. They got a bunch of injuries too. They cooking right now. Right. So like I'm expecting this to still be that warm-up game before that nice stretch, because what I would hate for us to do is to put so much it's big for me, but at the same time, it's not, because we can win, we can beat the Commanders and lose against the Saints.
Yeah.
Then what we gonna say? You can beat them, but you can't beat them. Like, it's gonna be this nitpicky thing. It's just like, let's see incremental improvement here.
Yeah, but I almost feel like you can live with it more. We beat the bad teams already. Right? Like, the Raiders are a bad football team. Like, okay, like the Saints found a way to come in there and beat you. Like, that happens sometimes in football. But I think if you're talking about how you beat the Cowboys, beating the Commanders, and realizing that Vikings game, you just kind of were exercising, I guess, old demons at that point, like, you feel kind of good about how your first 5-6 games have gone. Now, would I rather be 4-2 than 3-3? Heck yeah.
Oh God.
But like the Carolina Panthers put 40 on Atlanta, and then Atlanta came back, and you were kind of like, wait, are they one of the better teams in football? Like, they shut out the Atlanta Falcons. And then the Falcons came back the very next week and looked like they could not be stopped running the football. So I think that's also just
Jacksonville. I mean,
hey, bro, the I don't know what Jacksonville is, bro.
Bro,
God.
There's no way in the world that play makes it any other time. I think the Chiefs were surprised. I saw people look at him.
Chris Jones was. Chris Jones thought he fell down. You could tell Chris Jones thought he fell down. He just didn't chase him.
He didn't chase him at all. So, like, honestly, like, the Jacksonville is 4-1 right now.
And I don't believe in them at all.
They gonna end the season like 6-12.
Hey,
boy,
bro, I don't believe in them at all.
6-11. That's what they about to end. 6-11.
I don't believe in them at all. We'll see what ends up happening. And they broke Brian Thomas Jr. That sucks.
That's crazy.
Hey, man, appreciate y'all tuning in. Show love, hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Let's finish it out with this, boys. Let us know your thoughts, of course, in the comments below. How big of a game do you think this Commanders game is going to be? What impact do you think some of the guys that are banged up could have in that game? I mean, you got some solid pieces that are coming back. Kyler Gordon, if TJ Edwards is able to play, that'll be great. I don't know if Austin Booker is going to be out there playing. He hasn't played a ton, but like, does he show you anything that the preseason showed you? We'll see. I'm not very hyped for the Austin Booker train as much as I am.
I'm not gonna lie.
I know. It's not because of Austin. It's because, like, I think there's still a lot where a coach has to put you in a good position. Mm-hmm. And I already know Dennis Allen's not a believer in or I shouldn't say not a believer. I already know Austin Booker is not Dennis Allen's ideal defensive end.
Yeah.
So it may end up being a what's the Leonard Floyd situation, and there where it's like, yeah, you kind of you don't fit what we're looking to do. Is then he goes on, you're like, this dude got 10 sacks a year, bro. What's going on? What the heck happened? How did we miss out on that? Why wasn't he doing that here? So we'll see what ends up happening with that. Let's finish it out with this though, boys.
Yep.
Bulls basketball is back, ladies and gentlemen. We got preseason basketball tonight.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got a little basketball tonight.
Let's go. Let's go.
But you supposed to bring out a song now, JC. You bring out a good bow wow or something like that. I mean, we singing Andy.
I like the way
You
you
gotta
dribble
sing
down.
basketball.
You got to do it like JC, just whatever this is. I don't know. It's always two hands.
All the way up the shoulder,
Just,
above
yeah,
the
like
shoulder.
what-
baby. You gotta
Who
go
are you
above the
doing
shoulder.
this with? Who's
I don't know. Just
who's
me, myself,
getting
and
in
I,
on
baby.
that?
Just me, myself, and I.
Chicago Bulls basketball is back tonight, ladies and gentlemen. The season is here. Boys, what's your expectation for the Chicago Bulls this season?
Bro, I ain't never seen a
So
starting
sorry for laughing.
lined up that looks so mid in my goddamn life. Hey, listen, all I'm seeing here is a bunch of white dudes and a token black guy. That's all I'm seeing. That's all I'm seeing right here, dog. I have no. Hey, listen, one of them don't even look like he played basketball right now. Josh Giddey look like he's a Greek model over here. If you, I'm looking at this image right here, like this is ridiculous, dog. So, what are my expectations?
No Kobe White tonight, which is why you're getting the. Although it is still always just going to be a token. Well, no, Isaac Okoro probably getting a start there. So you have two. You have two
They
black
named him a
guys.
starter.
You have two black guys.
Isaac Okoro is the starter.
Well, I'm saying no Kobe White tonight, so Kevin Huerter's in the lineup. Both of them could be your starting three. But no,
And a
what's
shooter
your-
that we keep trying to trade that nobody wants. Like honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna have so much
I want
fun with this
Vooch gone.
season because I'm gonna be the hometown guy that's just so honest about his team. Like I'm gonna
So
be
you're
so
gonna be Joe
honest about my
Cowley?
team.
Joe Cali Sports.
I'm gonna be so honest about this team. This team looks like a hot cup of mid. I would say something else, but it's mid, dog.
Garbage.
This is not going to be good. And who we play? We play Cleveland. Yeah, we getting clapped. That's how I feel about it, honestly. But I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna root for it. I want us to do well. 10th seed on the way.
I think this is more of the development of who your best guy is. It's modest. Like I think that's the takeaway that I want to see from this season is small incremental progress, improvement. You've seen the tapes of the All Access now, and them talking about Modest really putting in the work this offseason and being just and he said, I'm addicted to basketball. So he's been in the gym 24/7 dang near every day, just putting more muscle on his body. You know, Vooch even credited him saying, you know, you don't look like a kid anymore. And so that's what I want to see. I want to see the maturation of Modest in his second year and making sure that he continues to progress. Can we get past 38 and 42? That's been our record for the last 2 seasons.
You see your starting lineup, dog?
I know, bro.
You
in
got a
all
20
honesty,
win starting lineup right
I
now. What
hear
are you
you.
talking about?
No, not at all. 20 wins is crazy.
Come on now, 38. You still got the same people from the previous two seasons.
And I think here's the thing that's going to be overlooked about the Bulls. You have a point guard who's actually a point guard.
That's true.
Who is in the second year of his system with Billy Donovan.
Josh is going to do his thing.
I think that Josh Giddey being a point guard in the second year of the system, understanding, knowing the kind of facilitator he is, seeing the kind of scorer that he was able to become last season, I think that's going to help Kobe White and Modest Buzelis tremendously. You still got an 18 and 10 guy in Nikola Vucevic. I know everybody wants to hate on him, but this man literally has had an old man game since he was 22. You know what I mean? So it's like, his game is going to maintain, and I think the big question is going to be with the defense. And defensively, you got some solid defensive pieces. You got a Crow this year. You got Ayo DeSumo. I don't know what Pat Will is going to be. At least figure out defense.
Oh, boy.
You got Trey Jones, who's a great point of attack
Love
defender
Trey.
defensively. I just think that there is going to be a step forward for this team. I don't think they're going to be dominant, but I do think, I'll say this, they should be whether they will or not is injury dependent. We know how the basketball season goes. They should be one of the 6 best teams in the East because the East is dead this year. Everyone's dead. Your top 3 teams are your top 3 teams, and everyone else is dead.
That goes to show you how many faith I have. The East is dead, and we still a 10th seed. Hey, listen, Pat Riley out here employing people from construction sites, and he's still gonna put up a better record than us. Like, I mean, let's be real.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think this the year it completely falls off.
For Miami?
I think this the year Miami end up with like 34 wins.
Could be.
Like I know
nice
Spo, I know all
there,
that,
but I don't want to make.
They
that
putting
joke.
all their eggs in the Bam Adebayo basket. Asia better be throwing something great for him to be able to go out there and ball. Like, I mean, he gotta be.
How about this? How about
the Bam Adebayo ceiling is 20 points and a lot of blocks.
Basketball, because guess what? She's that good compared to everybody else. Might as well see if she can play.
No, man. I think this Bulls team, I think I said on Locked On Bulls that I think this will be a 45-win team. I don't think that's, oh my God.
I'm sorry, you said what?
100%.
A what win team?
Because
we've not been that far from that.
Because here's my thing. One, you playing a bunch of teams in the East who, again, I just said it, they're dead. And I think that this team is built very similar. I think this team is built very similar to how the Denver Nuggets used to be built, where every year they would be competitive and we would be like, they not finna win nothing in the playoffs, but they gonna get there and they gonna play the Lakers and they gonna take it to 6 games somehow miraculously. Then they gonna get their heads kicked in.
Where you get these extra wins from, my boy?
I mean, for me, I just think that you've got a team that is going to be competitive every night, and most teams aren't trying to be competitive. Your top teams aren't trying to be competitive every night.
I said
your
this while you were
top teams
gone.
are going to turn on the heat the last 2 months of the season.
That is the weakness of the NBA.
And that gives you a ton of opportunity early on in the season to go out there and stack wins. Again, by the way, 45 wins, not great. 45 wins is a very mediocre basketball team.
That's the baseline. It should be a win.
Don't let that
the highest record in the East is going to be like 55 wins, and I think that we're going to see a lot of. Y'all remember that time where the East was about to get so weak that we had.
Okay,
yeah, I do remember that. Yep.
Did we lose PK?
Yeah, I think we did. Yep. Oh, there you go.
Do you remember that?
I do remember that. I actually do. I remember that time in the East.
What a take.
Where did he go?
I think the basketball gods got him. That man
said we only get 20. Here. You talking about 45?
God said 20 wins. That man said we only winning 20.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the best team in the East this season, and I died. He just commented that in the chat. Best team in the East this season is who?
Probably wouldn't be Boston now.
No, because they hurt.
Milwaukee, because they did get
no, I don't
name
believe
is gone,
that
but
team
they added
on
who did they get though?
Miles Turner.
Yeah,
I don't believe in that team at all. I'll say Cavs probably the team playing tonight. The Cavaliers probably the best team in the East. I think they're gonna win like
nice.
Yeah, I think they're gonna win like 65 games, like 70 games.
Okay.
I think they're gonna win a lot of basketball.
Jesus. Okay.
Because I think the East is just weak.
Indiana might still be decent. I know that Tyrese
there's
is not
nobody
going to be there.
It's the Pascal show.
Siakam. Okay. Well, we do have a chance. I mean, now that you mention it like that, it's injury-riddled Eastern Conference. So you take advantage of what you can.
And the
so
Sixers about to be trash. Trash.
Yeah.
Joel Embiid already rubbing his knee. Hey man, I don't know what happened to Kid, but he's trying to get himself back here. But we got to get up out of here anyway, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love as always. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do for the pettiest man alive who died midstream. Kid. Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, it's your boy Pat the Designer, back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bed down, one love. See Red, go White Sox, and that other team. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
3 in a row, baby.
Yeah,
3 in a row. Nope. Don't you start from earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, God.